In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Husker fans, get ready for another thrilling season at Hibner Stadium with the reigning Big Ten champion Nebraska soccer team. Season tickets for the 2024 season are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to support the Huskers as they go head-to-head with some of the top teams in the country, including Oklahoma State, Penn State, and Duke. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Old School with DP and J.
You have to get ready for this long haul of a season that you put, hopefully, your blood, sweat, and tears into training to be in your best form. And whatever team does it at a higher percentage, that means if you have 100 players and you do it at a 90%, 90% of the guys do it on a 90% basis, generally it correlates to what your wins and losses.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break with Sip and Jake.
I'd like Bill to be say next to you, so when you say on 3, he goes,
That'd be awesome. That would be. Steve Sipple on 3. You should be there just for that.
That's all I said for 3 days.
Kirk Francis, Steve Sipple from the Husker Online on 3 Network.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One-on-one on a Wednesday. It's DP. Dave Turcotte to the conference, can't make it. So Austin has left the building. Harrison Arns gets to step in and do what he does. And
as long as not touching my hair. I got the last 30 minutes there.
Anaya is going to do work. I cannot promise you that you will not have – I have a sneaky suspicion you will look like Shaggy when she's done with you.
It's not too far off from high school. So, you know what? We'll take that.
Yeah,
take that in pride.
And we were laughing because just the idea that out there for us all, no matter how cool you think you are or how mature you are, that if your parents are still alive, they have pictures of you somewhere as a naked child. So just
I know exactly which ones I don't want to see.
Just
sunlight.
Just remember that no matter how cool you are or how mature you think you are, Anaya, somewhere dad's got pictures. So just understand, chill out. Because as soon as you start saying, hey, I'm grown up. Okay, watch this. See what I do for you here. There's lots in this space of what we were talking about, Harrison. I want to get with you about it because we were talking about the business behind NIL and trying to put together teams in this space. And of course, been talking to some other colleges and universities about what they're doing in this space and how they're doing it, which is almost as important, how they're doing it. And yeah, a lot of them are breaking things down by sport, by position, by level of play, and that sort of deal. So on the text line, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, again, 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of it. The real thing is that programs and coaches are going to have to figure out how much a thing or person has value to them. And I think Matt Rule opened the Pandora's box purposefully, years ago by saying, well, look, I mean, I think top level quarterback's going to cost you $1 million.
Yeah, I gave the market price.
Just for starters. And it's not like he grabbed that out of thin air. There were conversations. I would imagine that several coaches have had these conversations. And now in an open market, like there's a difference. Like it's one thing to have value behind closed doors, but to do transparency business and say, no, openly, a really good quarterback's going to cost you $1 million just for starters. Which, let me ask you, is Shedeur Sanders is probably the NIL king?
Yeah, I definitely
at the quarterback position.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, Colorado, just in Colorado itself, and then his play. He's
Dylan's not. Well, not Dylan Rail, but USC Dylan.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Shedeur still.
Right, and so then the question becomes, what is Shedeur, or whatever your version of your 1A Power 5 playoff level quarterback caliber of play? How much that quarterback? Because it could be Dylan Raiola. It could be Gabriel Dillon, right?
Yeah.
It could be a host of people. But whatever that version is to you, because I'm not sure Alabama would pay him that, but they would pay somebody else that. So to find out, I wonder if there's a list that says what players are getting.
Not yet. I mean, that's where the whole argument, like
that's
do
the
we
next
just
thing
make
coming.
this pros? So like you're saying, do we make it all transparent?
Well,
because that's how much money's getting involved in this.
But wouldn't it see? And this is where as the conversation plays, that had the NCAA and its member institutions just done this 3 years ago with a number. So wrap your brain around this, that they were so stubborn and so arrogant that they never thought that anybody would stand up to them on this thing. That imagine that you could have said 3 years ago, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pay every starter $100,000. We'll pay every second teamer $75,000. We'll pay every third team $50,000. And to a player, they would have said yes. Winning, done. And you would have paid $4 million. You could have pumped it into the programs for your best 60 players.
Yeah.
Right? You could set a cap and say, listen, here's what you're going to be able to pay them. The other endorsements have to go through whole nother process. But just for equity's sake and being on the same page, you could have said that 3 years ago. You could have said that 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's always funny with the NCAA because they messed up so bad. And you're right. It was California. It was just like, why are we even listening to it anymore? You guys have clearly been behind the ball on this for the longest time. And like you said, you would have gave yourself ample time. You would have been paying a hell lot less money. You could have saved yourself some cash if that's what you're really worried about, which at the end of the day, I think the greed definitely shows itself with the NCAA and the amount of money. But if, again, you could have put a cap on it, this could have been organized. But as soon as California did it, it's the wild, wild west. You clearly have no control anymore.
Every player in Nebraska, knowing that there's one school in the entire state of Nebraska that would have paid $100,000 for the best players. So imagine all the kids from the Metro. What's $100,000 a year? You have okay, I can consider this because I may get that here. I'll definitely get it here. I may get it somewhere else.
Right.
Done deal. Like you could have done that. And again, your first team 22, that's $2.2 million. Split that in half or cut it in some percentage. You're in the same space. Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, et cetera, they're going to spend $25 million a year. When if they had just simply, like greed is such a powerful beast that they could have just simply said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to be first and we're going to do this for everybody.
Would have made a lot more sense. You wouldn't have to worry about what is this power struggle going to be in this new era of college football. Because it's obviously you got the Power Five and you mentioned it. If you're a group of five, what are you doing? How are you getting together enough money, not only to get them there, but they have a great season. Someone's going to offer them, 6 figures more than what you did to get them somewhere else. So it's like,
well, but you could have said it. They literally could have set it up.
Yeah.
That at $100,000 everybody, then you can go cherry pick the lesser fives
Mm-hmm.
and get kids who weren't getting, because they're not going to get $100,000 down there.
Yeah.
And you could have just said, hey, listen, now leave James Madison and come to Nebraska, and you're going to make $100,000. Oh, okay. I'm in the door. Here's the other thing. And this is, and again, I do in fact love spending other people's money. So, that's fine. But Nebraska, with its walk-on programs, could have easily taken the 85 scholarships that you're going to put, and again, in-state 25,000,
Out of state's 30
30
close
something,
to, I think it's
40.
close to 40.
right? And you could have said, at 125 players, $7 million. You could have done that, and you still could have paid your top two teams $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Your starters, hey, listen, everybody else, because we want you to compete. We want you to compete. So we're going to give you the best of everything, the best resources, the best dorm, the best training facility. We're going to give you the best fans, the best game day experience. Okay, fine. We're going to put you all in a pool, crabs in a barrel, 120 players. You compete every day at practice. The top 85 get cash.
Mm-hmm.
You get cash. If you're a returning starter, you get a little more cash, right? Set the number, whatever that number is. If you had top dollared that, you would have Nebraska would have maxed this thing out at $10 million. Period. And they could have done it first and said, you know what? We're going to be pioneers in this thing. We're going to set the table for how this was done. And they could have done it in every sport. And it would have saved them millions per sport.
Mm-hmm.
Millions. Because if you think Nebraska football will be able to compete with everybody else spending 33% of the money, good luck. Good luck. Imagine, again, the numbers make me.
Well, especially now we're getting in this era where it's kind of all getting out there in the open, and we're seeing just the foolishness of it all, of like how you could have had so much better organization and control over all of this and still make sure everybody gets paid equally and fairly and still have more NIL opportunities for those athletes if they want them. But you drag your feet on it. And for Nebraska's case, you could have been a pioneer, especially with how much pride each program has. Those athletes definitely deserve a little bit of a cut.
Like walk-ons at 25,000, right? Because you're not.
That's a drop in the bucket to these universities,
nothing,
and that's what we need to realize.
Right? Nothing. Then, hey, you dress out, but you don't play.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Letterman, another level. Right? You're at 75. You're a Letterman, and you're returning, especially if you're a returning Letterman.
Yeah, you get a little bonus if you're loyal. Appreciate it.
Hey, right?
It's good business. Good
value,
business partner.
Starters, you still got to figure out what you can pay kickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to just, per kick,
Well,
per field goal. I don't know how you work that one out because those things swing wildly.
Paper punt. But again, this is same thinking causes same problems. And if they had simply said, one, especially when you knew it was inevitable, and there's been time when the powers that be knew this was going to happen.
Well, I'll ask you this. Why do you think they waited so long then, knowing this is inevitable,
Stubborn arrogance, man.
But knowing the crosshair that's going to put on you, it just blows my mind that you'd even drag your feet to begin with. Because it's going to be bad press and media if someone beats you to it.
Because you've never been held accountable.
That's a good point.
NCAA and these member institutions have never lost. They had never lost in this battle.
Yeah.
They had told this untruth for so long. We don't have the money. They're amateur, like all the same regurgitated nonsense, right? And all the while, because listen, the coaching staff has a budget.
Mm-hmm.
It has a budget. So you know that there's a way to do it. And then you expanded the budget recently. And you expanded the budget without getting the real asset of this thing. Because I hate to tell you, folks, as a coach, I can tell you, real assets in the program are the players. Be mad at me if you want. Coaches will fight you for it and say, nope, we're the ones. Hey, but listen, you were making millions in guaranteed form, high volume, high dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And what could have been done at member institutions around the country was for somebody to say, okay, Harrison, listen, man.
I know we all want $1 million bonuses this year, but let's cut that down to just a $1, not a $2 million bonus.
I know I'm calling you while you're on your boat. And I know that you're going to charter some flights on the free deluxe airplane. But we could do a thing that's the right thing. And we now know, like, is there anybody out that's saying that this isn't the right thing?
I haven't encountered a person yet that says, no, these athletes shouldn't get paid. And I never heard that before, even when they weren't getting paid. So it's bizarre. Like you said, you can keep talking about it. But
So then let's flip it to basketball, right? And so we brought that discussion up. That in basketball, if you had done this in basketball for 15 players,
we'd have some Big Ten champ banners. I'll tell you that much.
Right? That the bottom 5 players,
Mm-hmm.
scholarship plus cash, 50 grand.
Yeah.
50 grand. The guys who in your rotation, your playing rotation from 6 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
right? Future stars, future starters, development players, all in that second window.
Yeah, you can probably give those guys 6 figures. Basketball is easy. It's just not a massive roster.
Right.
Easy to figure out.
Like 100 grand.
Uh-huh.
And here's what I can tell you. All of the second team folks, if you offer them 100 grand, will hug you hard. And you're getting quality talent.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the accountability thing, right? Different accountability when you're part of an agreement, right? And it's universal and uniform. So if you know I'm taking care of you the same way I'm taking care of Bach, you work different.
Yeah.
You work different if I'm just throwing additional stuff. And then how much money per starter do you think you would be willing to pay a player who would be all conference caliber on the court? Now,
I think that's like your quarterback market when you're talking. You're going to give that guy $1 million.
Well,
I'd imagine, depending on how good he is. I think that's the market you're in.
So in recent years, it's Casey, Bryce, Griesel, Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's kind of the
We're talking just all Big Ten conference.
Yeah, well, folks who got something.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Got something in the conference. They're not the best 10 players, or best 5 players, but they're somewhere between 6 and 20.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking like an elite. You're getting one of the top 3 recruits in the country. I think like your Derek Walkers, your Caseys. I think at that point you go on accolades and you just go 50K intervals. Every accolade you hit, there's money in your pocket, and you just have it in paper. And like you said, it's just good business. They know what their end of the deal is. They're still going to get paid. And you can get paid more, but it's transparent. And when you have that transparency, it makes a great business relationship. And whether you like it or not, college sports today is more business than ever. So you got to have those good business relationships.
Well, I mean, a big part of the problem with NIL is that bad business was running. Like, okay. So let's call this John Smith Brown College. Okay? John
Smith Brown College.
Yep, John Smith Brown College.
JSB. All
right? JSB, and they're the Fighting Dollar Bills. Right? that's
JSB Fighting Bills.
Yeah, right. That's the mascot. That if you were the CEO and you hired me and I lost 60% of my games, and you were paying me millions of dollars to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that I kept recruiting players who couldn't win. How long would it take you to fire me from making those decisions?
You're recruiting players,
yeah,
that are clearly not getting it done.
Yeah.
Man, I'm giving you a pretty short window. If I'm not seeing any development in the players, like, yeah, you're getting 2 years max before you're out of there.
Now, let's say that the Fighting Dollar Bills you have to pay me $12 million to get rid of me.
That's what's left on the contract.
Did you make a good decision?
$12 million left. Development's bad. Got the players on the roster.
Yeah, you made a bad decision.
You're losing a lot of money, $12 million. Looking at the rest of that roster and what we just said, if we're paying those guys,
Well,
you could have got some better talent in there and made it work. Especially in basketball, the players are going to win you games.
Imagine that $12 million going back into the football program. You could win with that $12 million.
Yeah.
You could win 2 years with that $12 million.
Or how much guaranteed money we have hanging out there. Just kind of running back through my head here.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
right.
All of a sudden, that matters way more in this NIL era. That's a great point in itself. It's like you better be damn sure about your hires.
How many top level players would you have gotten instead of the one bad decision? Now, we know that it's not just one bad decision.
It's a litany, unfortunately.
It's a bunch. And if you could, right, like it,
back to back to back.
Millions of dollars instead of being able to invest in the program. And I would think that that's a part of the donor frustration and fatigue.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And then it's the kind of thing, if somebody owes you money and you go to their house and they just bought like all new furniture.
Oh, yeah. That'll drive you up a wall, right?
Oh, right?
Well, that's a great analogy. It's kind of been-
right? Wait a minute. Like, and let's say they owe you some money and then they just bought a new house. Hey, bro, I got a new house and I upgraded. And if you would just look at them like, what is wrong with you, man?
Well, this marble and this kitchen's
Well,
fantastic. Have you seen it?
Hey, I'll let you stay in the guest room, though. I'll let you stay in the guest room where I use the old furniture from the house. We try to simplify it because but there's a method to the madness. There's a way to get this right. And you have to sometimes have conversations that make people uncomfortable to do it. Because, again, we're talking to different universities around the country. You hear some of the conversations. That in having these conversations, one, they're giving full disclosure. They're letting you know how small their budget is. And I just have a sneaky suspicion that Nebraska's budget, one, I'd love to know what it is. And I'd love to have some input. That here's what James Smith Brown University is doing with its money. Because I can tell you, they're in a better financial position. And here's why. If you're competing, you have to know what your competitors are doing so that you hold yourself accountable to it. Like you have to keep yourself accountable. And it's going to be, I'm going to ask you a question and we'll come back. Volleyball. Women's college volleyball. Power 5 college volleyball, to win a national title, to guarantee that you have, and again, Nebraska is one server, one player away from winning two of the last four.
Yeah, it would have been two of the last four.
Two of the last four national champions. And if a player makes the difference, because we're literally talking about you're in the championship.
Yep.
What would you pay to make sure that John Cook had access to that player? How much would you pay Harrison Arns? And text line, if you want to be a part of it, just text in how much would the donors pay to turn those two runner-up trophies into championship trophies? We'll be back to 101.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ooh, what a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a Mill coffee and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and maybe the biggest savings in the Midwest are happening right now at Koppel. When you buy a new GMC or Chevrolet anywhere else, you might be paying too much. But right now, we're going to give you over $10,000 off list or 1.9% APR on select new Chevrolets or GMCs. So please give us a shot before you buy anywhere else. Please stop in the dealership or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Must trade and finance with approved credit.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Football season is nearly here, and your long wait for year 2 of Matt Rule is almost over. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days from July 23rd to the 25th, live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Adam Carricker, Chancellor Brewington, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Nick Sainer will be in Indy for our shows Tuesday through Thursday. Getting the latest news from Nebraska and everyone else around the conference. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by 1890 Nebraska, Stevens and Smith Construction, The Complex, Warhorse Casino, and Riddles Jewelry.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top-tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Saluting our troops and veterans. God bless America.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big Red pride to Memorial Stadium Saturday night, August 3rd. That's Huskers.com/tickets. Brought to you by Husker Athletics and 1890 Nebraska. Winning tradition, future success.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to One on One. DP, Harrison Arns. We're talking budget numbers, and I think that again, each program, each school, each program, each player, each coach have their own working mechanism, the thing that triggers them that will lead how they do business and otherwise. But in retrospect, if you said, okay, Nebraska volleyball, again, the most prominent volleyball program in the country, the most talked about, the most fully formed, and 2 players away, 1 player each year, a play away, because there were runs in both of those sets where they had an opportunity to turn the thing around. But you're that close, 2-time runner-up in 4 years. So if we just said, okay, let's say 1 player makes the difference, and it changes Nebraska from runner-up to national champion twice in the last 4 years. If 1 player is the difference, what would that player be worth to you? And then, like as a fan, right? If they said, "Here's the deal, we're a player away. It's going to cost us X number of dollars to get that player so that we can win national titles." Now, we all think you can win the national titles as is.
Right.
Fair. Done. But for the sake of this discussion, 1 additional player. What is that player worth to the Nebraska fan, to the athletic department, right? Because there's more money.
Yeah.
Right? And that $92,000 would have an even greater resound if it was attached to national title.
Yeah, I think I haven't been super locked in on the volleyball market, but like 7 figures. I still think you can probably get away if they're that good. If that is like a player of that caliber that's going to go win you a title, that brings in a lot of money when you make deep runs, when you're bringing home championships, when you're bringing home big
more TV revenue,
and especially the way volleyball's blowing up right now, you better capitalize on it if you think someone's that good that can. And this maybe it's just me in my youth, but I feel like I've seen millions of dollars go flying around all over the place. So it doesn't feel like that much as it used to be. It feels like you can definitely get that done. And call me crazy, I don't think it's that
title,
much.
We're not talking about a Big Ten title.
Yeah, national title, 7 figures.
Right? A national title.
And I'm not going to sweat about it.
Right? That if you said to the fan base, listen, the difference between us and that is a player. You could also have that conversation about baseball and softball. So let's have it. That in getting Jordy Ball, you changed the conversation, right? Because you obviously found whatever wonderful metrics there were to make that work. And then what else do you need? What other players do you need? What other positions of need? Because I would think that Jordy Ball and the Huskers have a not only a design, they won the Big Ten tournament without her. Yeah. But I think the mission is the national title. I don't think she came here to not win a national title.
No, it's definitely a national title.
Right?
And that's not even mentioning all the injuries they had, and they still won the Big Ten title.
Right. So then it becomes, what's the difference? How big and long is the bridge between winning the Big Ten title and winning a national title? How many players? What players? You need a player like at a position? Is there a position of need? Is there a type of player in the order? Do you need it to replace Billy at the top of the order, right? Maybe that's a thing, right? But you went out and recruited, and you found players who have made big plays in big situations from big programs. So there's a way. What's the number for softball that comes to mind? You go, okay, $500,000 on 2 softball players? Because I would think that's kind of.
Yeah, with the softball market is definitely going to be a lot less. And this is also where it gets interesting. Do you use, because culturally every university is going to have kind of their powerhouse sport, the one that brings in the significant portion of the money. A lot of times it's football. Do you use that one to elevate the others, even if those other programs aren't bringing as much money?
Well, here's the thing. If you handle your revenue programs correctly, there's additional money left over.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
If you don't handle it, if you're bad business people who have money don't have it for long.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have enough when they need it. They don't have it to help and do the things that they want to do. And that's a big part of it, is you have to get everything right by working from a common place. And again, you could have said 3 years ago, for all sports, we're going to set the standard. So every volleyball player gets $50,000.
Yeah.
$100,000. How many programs in the country? How many volleyball programs in the country are giving all of their players $100,000?
I'm going to take a guess and say 0.
Right. So if that's being done, and you did that in softball, you did it in volleyball, it changes lives. It changes student athlete experience. It changes all those things. I mean, we've had all the athletes. We're pretty sure that nobody from women's gymnastic or men's gymnastic is making that kind of money.
Yeah, no, I've had plenty of interviews, and I haven't seen any of them drive up in a brand new BMW
right?
or Lamborghini.
Like not a thing, right? So if you told me that the mission was to raise Heather Brink an additional $1 million so she could $500,000.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you have to specify that, listen, here's what X number of dollars would do for this program. Because each program, look, if we went to Paul Klempa and said, hey, listen, we'll raise $250,000 for you. Again, a top 3 program in the country becomes one with a bullet.
He's so damn good at recruiting. I don't know if they just get a nicer bowling alley. He's Coach Klempa, another coach that's such good credit for him.
Right, but wouldn't that be an amazing thing?
It should be, and they deserve it.
Right? Just we see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as glamorous as gymnastics or volleyball. It's not even as glamorous as basketball because of the way it's presented. But we've met those young ladies. We know, oh my goodness gracious. Like, who carries the Nebraska name better in athletics? It's volleyball for the women. It's volleyball and then bowling. Right? I mean, real talk.
Yeah,
bowling
bowling
has had more success than softball, than basketball, right?
Yeah.
Track is.
I was going to say track and wrestling is kind of
right?
that tier, just a close second, right behind them.
Right. Right.
Because they're consistently 1, 2, 3, take your pick. They're up there.
And then here's the other thing. You imagine what the number would be in track. Now, there's more athletes in track and field, but
a Darius Luff who has an attempt, he goes to nationals.
Well, I mean, you got a national title in javelin, national title in shot put for women. You have some talent. Like, you have Olympians all over the place. So it appears to me that in the thinking, if it's organized pretty quickly, Nebraska can do some pretty amazing things. Right? And if you tell me that Michigan and Ohio State are going to go 20+ million, for 20 million, Nebraska kicks their tail in 15 of the 22 sports.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you handle football properly, again, it's a couple of players. It changes the deal. But also imagine for yourself, when Ohio State says they're going to spend 20 million, and Michigan says 25, and Oregon says unlimited, how is that money going to be distributed?
I can take a wild guess. It's going to lean heavy towards one program.
Right?
And we saw that with Texas A&M.
Those are just football numbers.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Those are just football numbers. Here's my thing. If you're telling me that a program that just won the national title is now going to put an additional $25 million into their program, paying athletes, that if we said that every player gets $250,000, you're 100 players deep.
And those guys trust you, and they're probably not looking at the portal. That's the other part of this is like, the more we get into this business, take care of your guys because they're going to remember that.
Like you could literally say, okay, first and second team, you're all going to get $500,000. Nobody's ever going to leave.
No.
Nobody's going to leave.
And they're going to work hard because they see it's like, I'm getting paid. I can get paid even more if I bust my tail.
And the third and 14 players aren't going to just fall asleep. Like they're going to work.
Yeah, because they want to keep that money.
They're going to work. And if you're doing that and then trying to go, okay, well, Michigan State, we don't know what Michigan State, but it's certainly not $25 million. USC, look, I said it earlier, there's no way USC gets outbid.
No.
Like you can tell me they're in financial duress. I don't believe it. It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood.
Just go look at the coachings that come and go with guaranteed money on the way out. And like, I'm not buying it.
Like look at the people, look at the kids, look whose sons and nephews those are. Like, stop it. Stop it. You're just like, come on. Like there are people, look, USC makes more money in side deals, cash exchange to get people on rosters than most schools in America. They get more money. There's more money off the books to get the nephew of the guy who made the #1 hit to be able to dress out for USC and never play. He's never going to play. But guess what? He's going to be a part of it because that check cleared. And it's not just one check. And it's not just one player. Listen, USC they got a slap on the fingertip based on what they were doing with the athletic program that didn't really exist. Right? And recruiting, allowing people to get in school to row who had never rowed before. Right? That the scam was so good that not only was the program a part of it, but that people in the academic office were a part of it. And then there were parents locally who were a part of this.
That is the craziest part of that entire story is the connection with the parents. Like, hey, you didn't get my send you some money. We'll forge all this stuff, get it together.
But
we'll get it over
But this is what's really hilarious about the Bronny thing. It's just, how are you missing that this is the thing that goes on? If you don't think, let me ask you a question. Do you think there are any student athletes at Nebraska who got in because of their parents?
Yeah. And some of them prove it and make it right. One of them has a show here.
Right.
And we're all happy he's here now.
It's what you do when you're in it. But this is the business that we're talking about. And if you don't understand the business side of it, right, the numbers that are in play, the type of business is being done, then you're just going to bang your head against the wall. Because the numbers that are going to be thrown about, first of all, let me help you. They're not the real numbers. Any number you've heard about any student athlete currently at the University of Nebraska is not a true number.
So you're telling me the On3 NIL evaluation isn't spot on? At least they're pretty open in their description. I'll give On3 their credit there.
If you're not going to tell me where the money's going and where it came from, the numbers don't match.
Yeah, I got to see the audit before I buy it.
Here's you can tell me that somebody's worth $1.2 million, but guess what? A human created that number. You can tell me there's a metric. Metric. Because metrics don't write checks. They don't write checks. You know why I write check for Jordy Ball? National champion. National champion All-American. Don't need a metric for it. Don't need to know how many followers she's got on social media. Don't need it. Don't need to know it. Don't need to know it. We'll throw the break. We'll close that one-on-one. Set you up for DeMornay Pearson now.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big Red pride to Memorial Stadium Saturday night, August 3rd. That's Huskers.com/tickets. Brought to you by Husker Athletics and 1890 Nebraska. Winning tradition, future success.
Registration is officially closed for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games will feature 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. If you didn't sign up but want to follow along for results or watch the action yourself, go to CornhuskerStateGames.com. Thanks to our partners, Nebraska Orthopedic Center, Pepsi Cola, Nebraska Medical Association, and Farmers Mutual of Nebraska.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. The free JV team gets you started with a game credential. Upgrade to the $35 Lil Huskers membership for a welcome box and VIP Lil Huskers experiences. Fuel your Husker spirit. Join the Kids Club today at Huskers.com/Kids Club. Go Big Red.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
We have two boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
And after the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. But they explained everything before it happened. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Empower a child today with a Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Old School with DP and J.
There's California money, and it's a different kind of money. Hollywood money just is spent differently because it's turned over and created so in full. And oh, by the way, it's the right kind of money when it comes to, because we're in the era now of name, image, and likeness. And the California schools have that better than everybody else.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to One on One with DP. Sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
DeMornay Pearsonell coming up, and then Chancellor Brewington, Harrison Orange will lead them through, carry you through a night.
And the Malone Radio Center. Can't forget about those guys.
Yeah,
Great as
it's a good night, man. It's a good night for it. And then I hope that y'all caught last night's one-on-one with Ramon Chen-Young from the Dallas Cowboys. I just, I don't know how many active pro NFL coaches just come on the ticket.
No, it felt cool. I put the video up on YouTube. Go check it out. It's just a cut up interview as a whole, but it was like kind of cool. I was like, Dallas Cowboys. Just putting up a Dallas Cowboys interview was a nice touch to add to the professionalism of the ticket.
Right? Like it wasn't a thing. And then here's a couple of things. And I'll share what I think I've talked about it, but maybe I haven't. But so this fall, and of course we're a month away.
Yeah, we're getting close for
a month away
payday.
from football season. That here on the ticket, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, every NFL primetime game will be aired on the ticket. And here's an add-on that, did you know that, okay, so game one is Chiefs playing on Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know there's a Friday night game?
We get a Friday, week one?
There's a Friday week one from Brazil. I believe it's from Brazil.
Oh, that's right. Packers are down there.
Packers,
and,
Eagles. We will carry that. That'll be the only Friday night we're not carrying Lincoln High School football. Is that first one from Brazil. Thursday, Sunday, Monday night football. Then we'll still stream the shows. So if you're in your car or you're sitting at home, one, download the ticket app, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's going to be go time. It's going to be absolutely clutch if you need to catch some of those games.
Plus the Royals, plus another season of the Supernovas, plus some other things that may jump out on the table at you. Maybe there's some hockey coming, maybe. And then this fall, Saturdays on the ticket. Now, priority 1A is the Huskers, right? That pregame, postgame ticket. We're going to do what we do.
Yep.
We're going to do what we do. I would suggest strongly, though, that you also have the app and that you have that you've friended and liked and followed on Facebook, that you've friended, liked, and followed on Instagram and on X and on YouTube. Why? Because there will be times. Because remember, in November, they don't know what time games are. So it's hard to be concrete in your schedules. But here's what I can say. That every Saturday in the fall, we will have college football live on the ticket. Live on the ticket.
That is huge.
2 games every Saturday. Early game, it could be an early, depending on when the Huskers are playing, right?
So we get 2 games every Saturday?
We get 2.
That's perfect. There is nothing better than is one of my favorite things to do is listening to the call on the radio sometimes.
Well, and here's the thing. We're going to get some real doozies. These are some real games, bro.
Yeah, give me a couple good ones.
Let me find it. Let me find it. Because it was fantastic to see the schedule sort of bounce out for us.
That's gonna be awesome, though. If you just get the Bulls back on here, even though it's hard to listen to, it's the cream on the crop.
Well, we'll finish the Royals season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
we're being real. People would probably rather listen to Nuggets than Bulls, anyways.
Well, I was trying to figure that out. Was what to do with that, right? That what would be the right thing? We were offered the Dallas Cowboys entire season.
Before or after you met Ramon?
Before.
Okay, so you definitely didn't take the deal.
Right. Was also offered the Raiders. But I asked people and I did not hear enough people telling me, yeah, you should probably do that. They did offer us early game, late game for NFL. So if we want, we can still pick. Like we can take the 12 o'clock game and then let like our afternoon programming of wonderful, wonderful things that it is, right? It's a deal. I'm trying to find the schedule. I can't find it. Maybe I'll give it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all right. We can tease it because this is going to be obviously still a little bit of a way here, but something to be excited about.
Here are some. Ready? We'll do it real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Here's some of the games that'll be heard here. Notre Dame, Texas A&M.
That's a good one right off the bat.
Alabama, Wisconsin. Georgia, Alabama. Texas, Oklahoma. LSU, A&M. Army, Navy.
Nice. Okay.
Auburn, Alabama. Michigan, Ohio State.
So we're just getting most of the iconic rivalries, the best rivalries in college football, on top of
all live.
No, Army, Navy. Yeah, those guys will plug in there too.
And the Big Ten championship game. How about that? How you like them apples?
That's incredible. Let's just hope Nebraska's in that Big Ten championship game.
Well done.
That's going to wrap it up for One-on-One with DP. DeMornay Pierce-Snell, Don't Punt Hour up next. We'll keep it rolling here on Ticket Weeknights. Stay tuned.